mean, you're welcome to like sit forward or
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm not trying to peer pressure nobody.
It looked like you guys were like AJ's kids.
Okay, we are live, I think, if I've done this. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a minute. I feel like we've been having a lot of news and we've had a lot going on. We were at New York ComicCon, which was super fun. And Ronnie and Gabby and AJ are together, which is pretty cool. I don't know. What should we like start with?
There's 40 things on your list.
I know, it's been so long.
Start from one.
I feel like we're getting like a million things every day.
Which, I mean, I would rather take than nothing, so I'm not complaining about it.
No, not at all. It just feels like some days we randomly get like 20 things and then we'll go another day and not get anything. So it'd be nice if it was like spread out a little bit better. But, you know, I mean, we can't complain. We have Hunger Games content.
Good problems to have.
What was it like a year ago that we were like, is this movie even happening? You know?
Yeah.
Right.
So, at least
thinking maybe it would be canceled.
Stop.
I feel like something super exciting that happened was we got the Academy pins. The pins are on sale, which is pretty cool. That's something that we've been talking about for a really, really long time that finally happened.
They're really pretty. I love mine. I don't have it with me, but
It's on my shelf. Just like everything else is. I love it.
yeah,
Also some new merch. We can talk about Hot Topic. We got an Academy crossbody to go with our Academy pins, which is really cool.
They look really nice.
It's probably one of the best merch items they've released, honestly.
Brian's got his. Tell us about them.
Yeah.
Show them.
Show and tell.
Okay, let's see.
Share with the class.
We got one right here.
Ooh.
Can you see?
It's so cool.
That pin.
I know.
Looks so good.
So good.
Which I feel like is a little more accurate than the enamel pin that we got. Like the enamel pin is fine, but it would have been nice if we got one like that's on the crossbody bag.
Yeah.
It's not too late.
Yeah.
It's not too late. Brian, what do you think of the quality of it?
I think it's really good. If you're familiar with like Loungefly bags.
Yeah.
It's that same synthetic kind of leather, but it's a lot thicker and stiffer. So I think it'll last a lot longer.
Oh, thanks.
Good.
Yeah, and then this strap is just decorative. There's a magnetic closure.
Thank God.
Oh.
I don't want to straps.
Yeah, I got mine in the mail yesterday too, and I mean I really like it. I might get another one just in case I like mess up the
I'll just strap two on myself.
Both sides. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But I thought that was really cool because it wasn't something that we expected to get. Like I definitely did not expect them to make a replica crossbody Academy bag at all.
Yeah, we were all freaking out.
Whoever made that decision.
Thumbs up.
Good job.
And then we've gotten some new shirts at Hot Topic. And then a new cardigan, apparently.
The cardigan.
I need it.
That some people have got their hands on, but my Hot Topic doesn't have it.
Yeah, and it's not online yet either, so keep your eyes open.
Yeah, and I went to my Hot Topic and I asked if because Clement he sent the barcode, and so I asked if I could still order it even with that, and they said no because it's not online yet. It was funny though. I called before I went, and then I went in, and they're like, "Oh, someone just called about that." I was like, "Oh yeah, I wonder who that is."
Oh my God.
And that's so funny.
Those cardigans are so cute.
And I'm gonna live all winter in that as soon as I get my hands
Same.
on one.
And the 10th annual Hunger Games t-shirt, like the red and the white one, I'm obsessed with.
I just
Same.
went in a crop
And it
fit.
has it has like stuff on the sleeves too, like
Yeah,
on both sides. That's so cool.
Marilyn is commenting on my outfit. Yes.
Marilyn!
It's Lucy Gray. It's a cosplay. It's like if you Google like Lucy Gray rainbow dress cosplay, it's just like one of the many options that comes up. I did not expect it to be as like good quality as it is, but it's really
Hey.
nice. So I'm super excited to
You gotta
wear
stand
it in
up.
North Carolina.
Stand up and do a little like show. I want to see it.
Oh, I'm only wearing like the top part. I'm just wearing jeans.
No.
This is off-duty Lucy Gray.
Yes.
But honestly, yeah, like I could just wear the top and like wear some like I don't know, high-waisted jeans. I think it'd be really
Yeah.
cute.
It's cute.
100%. Also, Marilyn, you got
Yeah, same. Marilyn. Next time.
What else? We got another lucky video, the Plinth Prize one, which was pretty cool. I love the lucky videos.
When Chase jumps in, you know.
It's so good.
Chase is obsessed with Lucky. It's so funny. Favorite
It's
character.
So weirdly goofy and like he's playing it so well. He brought life to the character
Yeah.
that I didn't really know what to expect with it.
Same.
Yeah, I only know him from Freaks and Geeks, so this is like a really interesting second thing that I've seen him in.
Second thing.
The one thing that I like about the Lucky video is it kind of, I guess, confirms that the Plinth Prize is something that's going to exist from the very beginning of the movie and not something that's like added later on in the games, which is something that like a detail that I hoped for that they would change when they were condensing it. I just think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. At first I was like, didn't we already talk about this on Tribute Talk? But I realized that we talked about this literally when you were in New York last week. And I was like, did we have like what? And yeah, we've already talked about this before in person.
It's like me with like my fan fiction fan casts and lore and stuff. I can't differentiate from reality and just what I made up. And so like there's like a conversation
I know.
chat or in person or somewhere else, or if I dreamt it, like it's all the same.
This is what happens when we go like a week without Tribute Talk.
No, literally.
My entire life is discombobulated.
Especially with all the information we've been getting recently. It's been a lot, but like really exciting.
I mean, I guess we can talk about the fact that we were together in person. We were at
You wanna talk-
New York ComicCon on Friday, which was super fun.
Oh my God, was that only last Friday?
Not even a week ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Gabby and I have just switched places.
Yes.
Just teleported each other. It's fine.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That was very fun, which I mean, we like to thank Lionsgate for having us come.
Yes.
It was very cool to see more people dressed in the screen used Capital Academy uniforms again.
Shout out to the Academy students.
Yeah, they did such a great job. And they like we got some cool got the poster.
Which is right behind Gabby here.
Oh,
Bam.
nice. AJ already has it up.
I don't have it in a frame yet. That's TBD, but it'll happen.
And we got to walk around Comic-Con, which I mean I'd never been to before, and that was a very overwhelming but very cool experience to see. I mean, I had such a great time.
Yeah, the last time I went to New York Comic-Con was over 10 years ago, so that was fun.
Yeah, I'd never been to a convention before. It was a little overwhelming. A lot of people, and I feel like we didn't really have any sort of plan of anything we wanted to see or do other than participate in the Hunger Games stuff.
Well, Emily. Gotta shout.
Not the prop.
we did meet Hugh Howey because AJ and I are pretty obsessed with the show Silo right now. So that was exciting.
Sheriff Nichols.
And it was fun to see because they had us meet up for the cosplay event before they let us free on the floor. And it was really cool to see other people's cosplays. We had a really good Caesar and Effie. They were
they were so good.
They were so good. We had somebody that handmade their Academy uniform, Oh
Mhm.
gosh, I need to have these names out.
I remember her something Sapphire and
Sapphire, Cat.
at something
mhm.
her username.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, people who can just like make the costumes,
Mhm.
like Brian.
Yeah.
I not a skill that I'm anywhere close to having. So super
Actually,
cool.
that her academy uniform. She asked me if I made mine. I was like, "Girl, this is from Amazon. this is a men's suit and a skirt and a shirt. That's it.
Yep.
Some pants.
The suit.
No,
It's a
full suit.
suit.
It's a jacket.
I love that we actually got the 10th Hunger Games propaganda poster as something
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
actually own too.
That was
which
very
was
cool.
Not something I expected.
I hope they make that more available, like on the shop or something, like wider.
Yeah.
Than just
Mhm.
eventually.
Yeah,
It is a poster
I'm hopeful because it doesn't say like
exclusive.
New York
Mhm.
ComicCon on it or anything like that.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll put it up in the shop because it's definitely worth having. It's super cool.
I have like a poster from, I guess it was San Diego Comic Con, but from back in the day, it was like the Hunger Games Adventures game
Oh
poster
my god.
that you needed to get in order to unlock something on
Yes.
the Facebook game. And I never played the Facebook game, but the poster showed up on eBay and I snatched that up real quick. And I
Facebook
don't
game
have
was
it out,
really
but
fun.
yeah, I have it rolled up on my shelf because I can't have nowhere to display it. But yeah, this
Same.
poster isn't like that in the sense that there's nothing like New York Comic Con branded on it or anything, but still very cool.
Yeah, thanks
All
again,
right.
Lionsgate.
Well, I mean, then the next, 2 days later on Sunday, we all went to see the Hunger Games real release. And I think all of us went to go see it, right? We all went to the theater.
Yeah.
So that was super fun to see the Hunger Games in theaters again.
Incredible.
Gary Ross. What else is
Seventh
there
time
to
in
say?
the theater.
It was good.
Emily and I were just grabbing onto each other the whole time again.
Well, Ronnie was saying the entire script of the movie out loud. I'm not sure how immersed I got in the experience because
felt
Ronnie
bad.
was just right
you were
next to me.
cracking some jokes, okay? You were also saying some lies.
I was. Ronnie like pushes me to that level.
To come out of your shell.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
I'm chaotic and I apologize to the other people that were in the theater, but it was very fun.
Whatever. Everybody had seen it. I feel like whatever. People should have seen it by now.
And the Ballad tease beforehand as well.
Mhm. And then and on that note, I need to talk to whoever decided we're gonna play the Ballad trailer, then the teaser thing, and go straight into the movie with
Yeah.
like no beat because they threw a lot of new content at us,
It
and
was
then
a
like
lot.
gave us no time to then prepare for Prim screaming. Okay, there was just like no transition.
It was
We were
so
like,
much.
Yeah, that was a lot.
It was awesome,
And I was like sobbing, and then it started, and I started sobbing harder. It was way too much.
Literally, that was a great experience.
And
You
it
get
played
to hear what-
before instead of after, like all the ads said.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was maybe like a theater miscommunication or what, but like I do think that it's
Maybe.
saying something that it is like it seems to be a nationwide thing that they showed it first.
Yeah, it seems like everyone ran into that issue. I felt bad. Somebody had messaged me like responding to my story because I guess I had posted like that I was at the theater and stuff. And someone was like, "Oh, I'm at a showtime too." And it was like after the end, like it was during the end credits that they messaged me. And they're like, I hope they show I can't wait to see the Ballad content. And I was like, they showed that before. And they were like, and I was like,
That
well,
hurts.
I'm sorry, friend.
That's so
I mean,
disappointing if
out
anybody missed that. Well,
Yeah,
I'm sure people missed it.
Yeah. And
Well,
they
it's on
also
YouTube now.
Yeah,
That's-
it's nice that they put it up like the day after.
they also played like no other trailers. So I thought it was like a bit because there was just so many people showing up into the Hunger Games like 20 minutes
God.
in. And I was like, why is everyone late? And I guess because they just played no other movie trailers. So I guess people thought that they had time. But they just kept coming in. And I was like, who's pulling this prank here?
Why are y'all pulling up right now? Like,
Yeah, literally 30 minutes into the movie, people were still coming in.
It was like one after the other. It wasn't like an influx of people all at once. It was like, okay, 2 people came and sat down. 5 minutes later, 2 more people. 10 minutes later, 2 more people. Like it just kept coming at a steady.
honestly, it ended up just being kind of comedic after a while.
Yeah,
like
it was
I was
fine.
annoyed at first, but honestly, I was like, where are y'all coming from? Like our theater, I don't know about you all's theater, but our theater was like pretty packed. Like I was surprised to see that there were, I mean, it was mostly full essentially.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
are
think
in New York. I mean, that'd be weird if it was just like you.
Yeah.
62.
Okay. Listen, let me have hope, okay? Hope is the only thing stronger than fear.
Oh my god.
Fear can stop you.
Everyone hungers for something.
Everyone hungers for something.
I'm gonna try to say that as many times as I can in there.
And we like lost just the will to live right there.
I do feel like it was really cool seeing the movie in theaters again. Like, I mean, because I hadn't seen it in theaters since, I don't know, has it ever been in theaters since 2012? I haven't
No.
seen it since then.
No.
Mostly,
Wow.
I feel like there were like
Oh.
little moments that I noticed, like when it's just blown up on a much bigger screen and the sound you can hear so much better. Just like little moments that, I don't know, stuck
I
out.
noticed a snail on a rock.
I liked when the tribute parade, like when they were all lined up in front of Snow and you could see them, their little, like behind or in front of him. That was
Mhm.
cool.
That's what I noticed too. I was sitting up, like,
Mhm.
I was in the second row, so that's like, I was pretty close, and that's what I noticed too. You can actually see the people.
Yeah,
It's pretty
that
cool.
was cool.
Yeah, my biggest thing was that I could hear more than I ever had before. And one of the biggest things I noticed was that I did not know, and I think I told y'all this already, but like when the obviously the best scene, booby trap happens, the District 3 male speaks to Kato before Kato snaps his neck. I didn't know because he was like, I think he said like, I don't know what happened or something like that. I'd never heard that before. I was like, wait,
didn't
he
either.
talks?
I've
That
heard
was
him
kind of cool.
talk, but I guess in the theater you can kind of like more clearly hear what he's actually saying.
because it's also like when they're fighting in the training center and they have that kind of like improvised like argument or whatever. Yeah, you took my knife, and then like that whole exchange I feel like is also clearer in a theater. Because I think that's also where a lot of people have headcanon that the boy from Three's name is Jason, because there's a if you listen to it, it sounds like he's saying, Jason, you took my knife or something, but it's like ambiguous, but a lot of people have attributed that name to that tribute. Fun fact.
Some of you guys said that you cried. Was it just like at Rue that you cried, or other parts? I'm looking at
No,
you,
I
Abby.
cried throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how I am, so I was crying literally the entire time. But
I got it. There you go. Okay.
I saw.
It's like when you're deaf and you're given a hearing aid and you get to hear for the first time. It was just like,
No, it was. I think
Gabby, you okay? You okay? Am I
She's
allowed to
crying
make
now.
analogies in here? Are we okay?
He's in tears.
it was. I think because I haven't seen the movie in theaters since 2012, which I saw like times in theaters. Very embarrassing amount. And I hadn't seen it on the big screen since, and I always rewatch it constantly. It's like I love that movie so much. But seeing it on the big screen, it was just like a lot more impactful. And like this,
Yeah.
I loved also, I noticed a lot the sound was just so good in it. I mean, I was obsessed. I noticed like that. I mean, not really any like minute like camera details or whatever, but the sound was like a big thing for me.
I paid attention to more of like the game makers in the tribute center when they're all like talking. Like obviously there's the famous Seneca, hey, order this pig, but like all the other stuff happening around, or just like the other game makers kind of off to the side and stuff, which isn't important, but I like that stuff. So
Ronnie was sobbing during Rue's death. I was like, do you need to leave? Are you okay? Like,
and I didn't have any napkins. There are no tissues or napkins. I even asked like down the row.
Oh,
I was like,
Nobody came prepared.
No one came prepared, and I'm not like Glimmer. I was not very prepared. So it was rough for Ronnie. What can I say?
I feel like I started to cry because you were crying so hard next to me.
You
like,
turned to me and you were like,
I wouldn't have
"You're gonna make me cry."
felt anything.
And then, like, of course, like the District 11 scene just like kind of ruined me as well. Like right after that.
Gabby, what's going on?
There's literally a tear rolling from her face.
Oh my god.
I do have to say, if ever you guys want to have Gabby as a host, she's gonna make you feel like a stand-up comedian because
everything's funny. Broccoli.
It's the best thing ever.
What are we even laughing about right now?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something funny about Rue dying? Because this is not okay.
It's not. This is a serious
Not
situation.
okay.
An 11-year-old girl.
The Gwabs is out here gigging.
We've walked a lot today from like the 9/11 museum all the way up here. Like it was a lot.
She's exhausted. Don't mind her.
She is exhausted.
Gwabs is out here gigging.
But yes, I really want them to do Catching Fire next if ever that's like an option.
Oh, that's all I wanted. After it was done, I was like, I just want to watch Catching Fire now.
I don't know if you guys just saw Chase's message. Anyway, I want part 1 again.
Part 1. I love part 1.
Yeah, it makes me even more determined to watch Ballad in theaters as many times as possible. Y'all okay?
Don't mind.
No, we knew this would happen if you got 3 of us in this room together. Like we were talking about this at dinner. I'm like, I don't know how much we can handle this because we're gonna be laughing the whole time.
It's like, okay, wait, actually when we were watching the movie and then Effie calls out Prim's name, she's like, Primrose Everdeen, and someone in the audience said, woo! It was like, it was like a tiny quiet little woo that probably like just escaped out of whoever said it. And then Sam and I like looked at each other and went into hysterics. And then it was the vibe of like when you're trying to not laugh in class or something and it just makes it worse. And she and I just were suffocating. But it was so funny. It was just like a quiet little woo. Awesome.
We're just in silly, goofy moods right now.
Yeah, sorry.
Back to Ballad.
Actually, before we get back to Ballad, I want to hear what everyone else saw, like, in terms of your audience. Like, did everyone laugh at the right time? Like, let's talk more about the audience, because I feel like everyone had a different experience. You guys had a packed theater, mine was middling, and then I think, Chase, you were like the only one in your theater.
Ours was very subdued until after Katniss was in the games and would kiss Peeta and they would cut to the reaction shot of Gale. Everyone died laughing both times, both shots. Like they would laugh for a really long time.
It was like an audible.
Yeah, it was a big group laughter. And then also at the end of the movie, like everyone clapped.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like a really good
and us in the back row sang the entirety of Safe and Sound. And then also keeping up all the other songs that came after that. I mean, I was performing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we had a full concert back there.
Yeah, I have a set list.
The back row was lit.
So,
what about your everyone else? Like, how was your theater experience? Or we don't even have to talk about the theater. Like, any more thoughts you guys want to add about your watch this time? Like, what are your thoughts for this time?
Oh, I got the experience.
Oh no.
So
Share
real quick, I was in the theater, and this nice theater all the way in the back by myself. The theater was in the back. I was like, no one's showing up to this. It's Sunday at 7 o'clock. I got my little reclining chair. It was nice. I had leaned back, and I'm like, this is perfect. I'm going to be honest. I had eaten before, so I started clacking my teeth while I was waiting. Like,
Of course you did.
so gross. And all of a sudden, the couples start walking in. So it was me and 2 other couples, like it was Love Island in there or something. And I was like, this really wasn't for y'all. It was for me. They were showing this for me, but yeah, come in. And then this random kid walked in during the reaping. I'm like, well, this is uncomfortable. We're in the most like important scene of the entire series, and you have to walk in right here to interrupt. And but they were quiet for the most part, so I forgive them. And maybe they were just having a bad night because they annoyed me because I thought I almost had the theater to myself.
So funny.
I would not be late to that movie to save my life. Like that movie, it's start to finish. You have to watch every bit of it,
Yeah.
or else you can't come in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had like 12
people.
people show up at like the training center scene.
You're not even supposed to do that.
And then they started talking throughout until like the games. It was just
Oh no.
it was rough.
God.
Someone just had to shout at them. It's like some people paid for tickets, you know, and then it was just quiet. It was so quiet.
That is at least when I worked at my movie theater, like first 20, like when trailers start, like 20 minutes from then on, after that, you can't let somebody in.
Yeah.
Oh no, Emily. Emily, it's okay. We'll keep going. Emily doesn't have internet right now.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, I thought she was like in the waiting room. Let me in. Like,
Out there, though.
Isn't she hosting this?
it's a ship without a captain. Oh my god.
Rogue.
In the show,
It's rogue now.
I do have some manners. I did quit plaquing my teeth when people walked in, so I don't want people thinking I was sitting there like
Good
being
job.
gross
Jeff.
in front of others. Like
That's the
I put
southern
it
way
up
to
when
do
they
it.
walked in. And now I'm going to get the other.
That's what Southerners do. We can't be like confrontational about it, but we got to make at least a little bit of noise.
I think I may have seen like a young girl watch it for the first time, and it was like I was like, oh my god, it's like me at 11 watching it. Like she came in with her dad, I'm guessing, and I was like, oh, like it's gotta be the first time she's seen it, right? And then other than that, it was just like this random like older woman, and I was like, okay. And then and then like two groups of like college age girls like me, and I was like, yeah, I got you. And then this like younger man, and he just like walked in alone and sat down with no popcorn or anything. And I was like, okay, he's just here for the experience.
Yeah, you kept an eye on him.
No, I was about to say that's it's a red flag for me.
No, I saw him like
Keeping my eye on
I
the
had like a
exit door.
barrier like in front of me. Like that's how the seating was. It was like I couldn't see the chairs in front of me.
Oh.
And his hand went up like he stretched during the movie, and it scared me so bad. I was like, what's he about to do? But it was fine.
There was one guy in my theater, he came in late and he had like a big, one of those like Carhartt puffy brown jackets, and he sat in the handicap section. So I'm guessing he didn't have a ticket. And so I was like, what's going on here?
Sorry that we don't want our screening of the Hunger Games to become the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, it was really good. There were mine was mostly young people. I was with my family. It was mostly young people, couples, friend groups. I did run into someone who went to the Henry River Mill screenings in North Carolina.
Oh.
I didn't get her name, but she runs, I think it was Reaping Day on Instagram. But she actually recognized me, and I looked through her profile, and then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember her now, because she had some pictures in front of the costumes that I brought. And then we just talked for a little bit outside the theater afterwards. She actually knows Nicole, Dearest Mockingjay.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, she also moved from Tennessee. Unlike me, I really miss Tennessee and wish I could go back, but she says she likes Utah. I'm like, are you sure?
She probably likes the affordable rent.
Yeah.
Oh, if you say it's affordable, okay. I don't know where in Utah you're looking at.
Just seems really cold in Utah.
It's actually pretty hot. It was cold last week. Snow just started falling on the mountains. But now it's back up to the 70s and it's warm.
I spent a lunch in Utah. That's it. I flew I woke up at 3 a.m. in New York City, flew to Utah, had lunch, flew back in the same day. That's my only experience with Utah. So
yeah, if you're not here for like the nature and stuff, you don't really need to come here.
I was there for work anyway.
Yeah, but I'm here because my sister wants to go to East High. So, and I tried to go to it, but that did not work out.
Yeah, Abby, I feel like we haven't really heard from you yet. Like, what are your thoughts? Is like this your first time seeing it in theaters, or like just like your impressions and what you felt different about this viewing versus others?
Yeah, so this was my first time seeing it in theaters, and it was incredible. I picked up on like hearing things I've never heard, but also the lighting was better, I guess, and so I saw like scenes better. And it, let's see, there was like no one in my theater, so it felt like it was just a private screening. So
Nice.
yeah, I freaked out when I saw the preview, and yeah, I got to have a great time. It was awesome.
Thank you for sharing.
Did we talk about the Ballad special feature before
Nope.
yet?
I feel like this needs to be its own episode because there's
Yeah.
so much in this.
Honestly, yeah.
I want to do like a reaction and breakdown to it, honestly, but I don't know if we have the time for it tonight, or like if you guys want to, like we can.
I
And
love
it's also like almost 5 minutes long,
Yeah.
6 minutes long.
It's a lot. There's a lot in there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I couldn't believe it. It just kept going.
I know. I was shocked.
I was like,
I feel
what?
like we want to talk about it, or like do like a kind of middle ground of what you're talking about. We can go around and say like what part stuck out to each person the most.
Yeah.
And go from there. Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like I had so many.
So just pick one. Just pick the one.
Let me
that-
just pick one. Pick one. I both loved and hated, actually probably more hated, seeing Snow get his buzz cut.
That was the most.
I've talked about that
That-
moment as like the moment that I'm gonna cry in the theater is when the wig is getting shaved off, because I actually love Tom's wig. I love the curls. I love the blonde hair. So, and then the fact that they showed it, I'm like, oh, no, I'm not ready for this.
I loved hearing Ronnie's commentation on your video. It was so funny.
Thank you, AJ, for recording that. Ronnie and I were freaking out.
What are you talking
I mean, I
about?
guess
didn't record
it goes without saying that my favorite moment is Tom in his underwear just sitting awkwardly on his bed.
You know, I was gonna say that, but I was leaving that for you, Ronnie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, we definitely screamed at that. I was not, that was the least thing I was expecting, because I'm just like, when does this happen in the movie? But honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about it whatsoever.
Dissociating.
Yeah, just, I mean, like, honestly, like, such a mood. It's just like dissociating in your on your bed. Like, who hasn't been there? Like, come on.
Literally me this morning.
Um,
With his CGI ribs.
yeah, I noticed that too. He definitely, they CGI'd him like not PETA style necessarily, but like borderline PETA style.
Do you think that's when he's like sitting waiting for the shirt
I think so.
at the beginning?
Like
It's-
maybe
Beginning.
like how you said, it might cut after
Chop.
Nero to the chopping, and then maybe the title card, and then maybe it goes to that, and he's just
That's
waiting.
just the first image.
It seemed like a really weird
What?
scene.
Oh,
Like, what?
oh my god! Stop! I would get out and leave. I'd be like, what is this? What did
It's
I pay
like
$18?
Nero Price chop, and then the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Tom
Him
sitting
and
on the bed.
undies.
I'm just like
It's
imagining like the chop
depression.
and then like the Mockingjay part 1 music like in the title card, and then like it's just like sitting in his bed with like kind of Katniss like when she's sitting in the hospital bed. Like
If that's the first image, we're all gonna laugh so hard.
No,
Like,
but
yeah.
I will not complain. I will not complain. You will not
Ronnie's
hear.
like, wow!
Yeah, no.
Right, this is how it's gonna go. Ready.
Thank God.
Who's gonna cosplay that?
Ronnie.
I would do that. The underwear, I mean, I have to be honest, the underwear is cute. Like, it's very like, no, I'm serious. It's like, it's costume design. It's cute. Like, I don't know. It has buttons on it. I think that's neat. I don't know.
I think that's very 1940s underwear.
Yeah.
I mean, high-waisted, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
anyway,
Other favorite moments?
Clemencia, finally, we get to see a little bit more of her.
The way I was about to say that
Clemmy,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're
And the
back
guns
scenes.
into the lake. Both of those were like the wow scenes for me.
we don't get to hear her. Clemmy talk. Give her something.
Yeah, when they interlinked arms, like my eyes bulged and my jaw
Oh my gosh.
dropped.
It was just like Tina's drawings.
Yeah, they saw your drawings, Tina.
Tina's drawings.
No, they see everything you do, Tina, and they're
watching you right now.
Be taking notes.
They've been taking ideas.
They put it on their storyboards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mood boards.
Like,
Lionsgate.
Yeah. Well, Chase beat me to it, so I guess I'll go with my follow-up, which was the embracing tigress moment in the crowd.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
mine.
yeah.
That felt super emotional. Like
I almost lost it right there.
I can't believe they showed that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe they showed most of the stuff they showed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's one in particular though that I'm like, I'm almost mad that this was in here, low key.
What Francis said? Because I was mad about that.
No,
yeah, the
lake. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to see any more of that end
they need
sequence. Don't show it to me.
They need to relax on the ending. Like
they need to relax.
I was frustrated. I wish
Literally, though.
Francis wouldn't have. I wish Francis wouldn't have said the thing about their relationship crumbling. I was like, leave it. No,
Oh,
just
yes.
don't say that. Don't let
Yes.
people know that.
It fell apart.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a bad start. But
and then they
yeah,
literally showed it. I was like, what?
give me anything
A
from
gun
part-
and a knife.
part two of
Yeah.
the book, but don't give me anything from part 3. I feel like part 3 is like the sacred
little area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part 1 is fine. Like, give me anything from the games. That's cool, but dial it back just a little.
I was also like surprised with how they showed like kind of extended versions of like scenes that we've already seen, like at least in the trailers,
Yeah.
like beginning with Dr. Gall. That like it felt
Mhm.
like I'm sure that's like how at least some of the part of the part of the movie is gonna go, and it's like it felt like I was watching the movie, which like love and hate at the same time, but like mostly loved it. And then Lucy Gray and him like walking in the woods and like that extended dialogue. I love
those were
that.
two pretty long scenes.
Yeah,
do we think that the music that was playing when Dean Highbottom is walking is like the actual music in the movie?
I don't think so.
No. Well, I
Also,
liked
that
it.
little
It was good.
scoff that he does when she says like we're all like I don't know what it is verbatim off the top of my head, but something about good and evil, and then he's like,
that's my favorite.
and I
Yeah,
love it.
that's my favorite part.
When
I
he's
love it.
like
I loved it.
tributes
Audible
from
too.
each district, like
So good.
he doesn't care about it. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah. No, it's
I liked seeing Snow and Sejanus's relationship for a second.
Yep.
That
That
like made it
little
hurt even
snippet
more.
of them happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wow, it's like real. Like he actually likes him or something.
real or not real. No, James.
When they showed the stomping, I thought of Ronnie.
I love the stomping.
Stomp.
Big proponent of the stomping.
I do too.
What the stomping?
And then when they showed them like recording the stomping on the stairs, I was like, yes. That's awesome.
I'm excited for the Hobbs scene. I hope it's like fun music. Like I want to be into it. It looks cool.
It looks like a lot of fun.
I love Lucy Gray's dress.
Yes.
she's
And the
performing.
feathers in her hair too, like in the back of her head. She has-
Yeah.
All her outfits have been so cool.
I know, they're like low-key unrealistic to me because I'm like, how did she get all this stuff? But I guess she
My
traveled
mom-
around and whatever, but
from her mama.
After
Yes, I
seeing
want
that,
to
I'm
read
really
more.
excited to see like the behind the scenes features that will be on the DVD, assuming there will be some, because I want to
Yeah.
see all. I want to see the whole process of like how their minds went to like it being a period piece and how they developed it and the directions they went. And then I'd really like to see the music too, especially since it's such a big deal this time.
Yeah.
All the
Mhm.
interior too, like set design and stuff.
Oh, the
I'm like
sets look
living.
insane. Like like whatever office that was that they showed.
Yes, Art
That was really
Deco.
cool. Yeah, gorgeous. Like,
Dang.
and then I even love like when they're walking up the stairs, which it's like the Department of War, like the sign that's like on the side of the staircase. I love that. I love like little details. Um, I was just absolutely blown away by the entire thing, which I mean, AJ and Emily definitely could have heard that I was very impressed with all of it. You were freaking out.
Yeah, we were freaking out.
Jerry, how about you? You've been quiet for a bit.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about the art design, the set design, a bunch of rooms at the classroom, and I think that could have been one of the houses that they were in. But yeah, I really like that, and like the wide shots as well.
Yeah.
Looks
The
really
wide
good.
shots were so good.
Yeah.
I thought that like that office might have been like
That's
Strabo.
what I think.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I didn't think of that.
Also,
Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, you're good. No, you're good.
because I know we talked about it a little bit like after we got out of the theater and stuff, but like the scars that he has on his back, is that the shrapnel from? Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. Because I know that we were like, what the heck is that? And then
Yeah, I was like that too.
yeah, and then I thought of there is that shot of like Gaul, like it seems like she's like sewing him. And
I think the right side is like the arena, like the burns from the fire and the arena crumbling, and the other one's probably like an attack from the arena, like when he goes in the arena.
Oh my gosh, he gets beat up. I
Which,
guess
like,
I just never really thought about it.
Yeah, I
glad,
never
like,
realized that.
I'm glad
until
they like
seeing it.
had that because like I think kind of one of, I don't want to say it's a criticism of the original movies, but like when Katniss gets like beat up or whatever, like there's not really like any, there's not
there's
not
not
terribly too
lasting
much like
damage.
lasting damage, and like that
It is
happens. Yeah, but since those things happen like way earlier in the movie, like the arena collapsing and like him going to the games or whatever happened like way earlier than him becoming a peacekeeper, and like the fact that they still have that scarring on him, because like they could have just had him like have a clean back. Like I don't think people necessarily would have questioned it that much, but I like the fact that they included it. I think it looks really cool.
Well, also, like, even within the books, later on, we know they have the remake center, and so it's easier to repair Katniss compared to
That's
the
very
early
true.
time.
I'm
Well,
really
Peter should've
happy
lost
and
his
excited that they haven't shown a lot of the arena scene where Snow's in the arena. I feel like that's one. I don't feel like we've gotten anything on it, except maybe him like walking up to the gates. I don't feel like we've seen him like being attacked at all, unless I've missed something. And I really like that. I hope that means it's really good.
I feel like that's something that they want to leave as a surprise.
Good.
Surprise for people who haven't read the books.
I feel like the actual like critical moments and the different story beats have still been left kind of like completely out of promo. Like I'm thinking of like Arachne and like, you know, Marcus question mark. Like I don't know if that's even in it. Like that's been so like left out.
Oh,
that I don't even know.
Clemencia too. We've just seen them looking at the snakes and then the hand
going in. But yeah, we don't know how far they're gonna take that. Bobbin, like all this stuff I feel like is still left out, which I want it to stay that way until, which I think it would.
Hanging. Yeah.
Speaking of which though, we're getting a song about that tomorrow.
You mean tonight?
At midnight.
You mean in an hour?
9 p.m. for me. Hopefully.
Yeah, in like an hour here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that scene was really haunting. That was one of the scenes that really stuck out the most for me, is when he's approaching from the distance, and then she's singing on her own. I thought that was brilliant. I love that scene.
Yeah, and then her face when she noticed him was like scared, like, oh no.
Yeah,
They're in love.
All I could do was like,
Yeah, that's what I do when yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Such a healthy relationship.
Yo, stop. Oh, that's
you feel enough
terrible.
no.
Mark my words, Marcus is the Madge of this movie. He's not
Oh,
gonna be in part.
No.
Say that, Chase.
I feel like
No,
he would have seen something. I don't think it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I
I
can see
think in
that.
the comments, Leslie said there was a screenshot on Twitter of a zoomed in section of the arena from the new behind the scenes vid, and Marcus is visible and hanging from the rubble.
Oh.
Leslie, drop the
Oh.
image below. We'd like to see. We appreciate you though. If that is true, I will take your word for it.
I believe it. I haven't seen it.
Leslie.
Tell us who posted it on Twitter.
Please. If so, I'm gonna change my entire thoughts and say that Marcus is not gonna be the Madge in this movie.
I think they have to include the Marcus part.
Yeah.
I just
feel
worried
like
about the
that's so
violence of
big.
it all.
Well,
I think they might include the storyline of them being, like classmates, but I just wonder. I worry that the balance is going to be so watered down.
But I feel like it's such a catalyst for Sid Janis's reaction,
yeah.
like the "Your Monsters" part.
Yeah,
My
what would
favorite
he have
line of
been
the entire
reacting
trailer.
to if Marcus wasn't in it? What would he have been? I can't think of anything else they could do for him to have that reaction.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think
Like
about
that big of a reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally probably my favorite clip in both trailers when he throws the chair. I think it's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I've heard some people say they didn't like it, but I think it's good.
I think for me, that was the most impactful part when we first saw the trailer, because when we were going to Vegas, I was reading the book and I had literally just read that part. And so I think that was the most impactful part for me in the trailer. And going forward, it's I don't know, just some kind of connection for me with that part now.
That's cool.
I think it's good. I like it. I really hope that Viola's clip in there with her hand held up like silence and just staring him down. I really hope that is the clip they cut to after he does it, because I think those two clips back to back look so good, and I think they work really well together.
I think so too.
Leslie also liked Lucy Gray's twirl with the guitar. I love that part too. Super cute.
Yeah, me too.
Snow's death stare right at the end of the video. Also cool. Although like I said, I don't want to see any more from the end of the movie. That's enough.
Yeah.
Really, I'd be good to not see anything else from the movie, to be honest. I feel like we've seen enough. But
definitely.
I'm sure we're gonna see more new things.
Really this late at this point?
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been posting all of these ads, right? In like the last couple of days, and there's so many new little clips that
I can't believe they
have been
showed
in them.
the snake one with Lucy Gray. I can't believe they showed that.
Oh yeah, with the snakes like actually coming on top of her when she's like seated.
That's Chase's favorite right there.
Honestly, that looks so cool.
Yeah, I was really
a little bit
impressed.
worried. Because I feel like I don't know how that scene's gonna go, especially she's gonna start singing and I don't know. But everybody said that song is really good, and then also that visual that we've seen looks really cool. So, I mean, I'm excited to see it. I feel like there was one video that showed a lot of snake stuff. Like we got Dr. Gall holding one of the snakes, and then we got Lucy Gray like holding the snake at the reaping as she's like walking up to Mayfair.
Ronnie and Gabby are going home. We have to make the train. And we both had a very long day today.
Yeah, a lot of walking.
Okay, thank you for your thoughts.
No, thank you
guys
guys
for
for
having you on and seeing you guys together.
Yeah, it was very cute. But yeah, if we want to do like a full trailer reaction to the preview, I'm so down. Like later on,
Shot by shot breakdown.
yeah, shot by shot breakdown next week, depending. We might be getting news this week because it seems to be just coming at us fast.
Okay, cool. If we don't have anything for next week, we can totally do that.
You guys have a good night. All right. Thank you for having us
Right.
on.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I will be right back.
Okay. Anything else from like the ads, like clips that we got? I feel like there were so many things, but
There's a scene, or there's a clip of them at the lake, like that's matching the first look.
Oh yeah.
oh right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want an apology
liked-
from everyone who trashed that one picture. It's
Seriously.
Gary, but it
Yes.
still isn't any less or
What?
like less trash than it
It
was.
looks. I mean,
God.
it looks fine to me. It
before.
looks fine.
I don't
No,
know.
that still looks so bad. I'm sorry.
Jerry and I are
And
gonna have to fight you.
every time I see that image, like now it's a different angle and like it looks a little different and like her dress looks better, but like that image still flashes in my mind and like I can't expunge it from my memory. So I will not be apologizing. That should not have been the first look. Literally
Okay, everyone
any other still.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Everyone
would like
else.
to know
Would've
the
been
thought
better.
process behind that. Like, why was
So
that the
would
one
I.
they chose? It's kind of odd.
They've released it like around the time that they were actually filming that scene. I feel like.
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
It was
They
fresh
thought
on their
maybe-
mind.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't know how they were gonna market it, and they were like, "Okay, love story," and then
Yeah.
they switched. Whatever,
Taylor
it was a mess.
Swift.
But
I still like it. I'll stand by it.
Maybe they were thinking love story, but they also didn't want to show Lucy Gray's rainbow dress yet. So
Yeah,
'cause
let's
warm
we
people
got
up
to
to
look
this
at
one.
the first time we got to see the rainbow dress was the trailer, which
Yeah,
was like
that's a
an
good point.
exciting moment. So I can see how maybe that went into the thought process.
mhm.
It was cool to see Nina and Francis again. I did enjoy their like commentary. You got a little bit of their thoughts about the story. That was nice to see after all these
Yeah.
years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about, well, like you guys were saying, more about their thought process into like the sets and shooting locations and just, I mean, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and with the strikes and feeling so like disconnected from everyone that made the movie, that was really nice to see them talking about it.
Yeah, which it's kind of a big bummer that I think we've all kind of come to the realization that we're probably not going to get cast interviews or cast press or anything because there's not really enough time for the two parties to meet and negotiate and make a deal and like vote on it and ratify it and everything by the time the movie comes out, which is like a real big disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they filmed a lot of maybe like behind the scenes interviews because I know they did that with the original cast in the first movie. So maybe that'll be on the DVDs. They'll have a lot more of those cast interviews that we've seen
Yeah.
little clips of so far, but maybe there's a lot more. I don't know.
Hopefully,
be
yeah,
nice.
we haven't seen a whole lot. They had to have asked them more than just like the two questions
Have you read
or
the Hunger
whatever.
Games? It's like
I feel like there's also definitely the opportunity to do like a post-release promotion in some way because you know this isn't like the only movie that's affected by all this, so I feel like there's going to be a ton of
Yeah.
studios who are going to be trying to like recoup the hype retroactively, or you know, to promote streaming, like release to streaming or release to DVD or something. But even just in general, I feel like the strikes impacting all of this is its own thing to talk about, you know. Like I feel like actors, like once the strike does end eventually, you know, every single actor is going to be asked about it in every single press junket that they do for the next like 5 years, so we'll get something.
True.
Two, I think it's in a way like media now is so different from 2012 or even 2015 as far as like, you know, I don't think we'll get this from like a Viola, but with the main three, you know, younger cast members being so new to the industry, I think we could possibly get like podcast interviews, things like that throughout, maybe not soon, and it may not be all solely Hunger Games focused, but to get some like answers on some of their experiences on set, I think that's a possibility too. So
Yeah.
Podcasts thankfully might save us some heartbreak on that one.
Oh yeah, it's a really good point that eventually it'll go onto streaming and maybe they'll do some sort of promotion for that because they'll still want it to do well on streaming.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, social media is just so big now in a much different way. And I just keep thinking of like all the smaller actors, like all who play all like the tributes and the other mentors and stuff. Like for a lot of them, this is like their first big movie and stuff. They're not gonna just, okay, like, I feel like, I mean, if it was me, as soon as I'm allowed to talk about it, I wouldn't shut up about it, So I feel like we'll get
that's how
to
Rachel is gonna be.
Yeah, and maybe we can get some of them on Tribute Talk or on Into the Arena. That would be so much fun.
That would be super cool.
Putting it out there.
Put it into the universe for us. Yeah.
We're working on one other former tribute, but she hasn't committed yet.
She's still making up her mind.
Yeah, she's still working it out. Wink, wink.
She's still preparing.
Any other like clips or images that we've seen? Anybody wants to talk about?
Clem with District 1. So if it starts with Clem, does that mean we get the rest of the 12 districts and each student talks about that district?
Oh yeah, the TikToks of the different districts. Yeah, I hope they're gonna do all the districts. And it was cool to see Clemencia, hear her talk.
It was so nice, yeah, to finally hear something from her. I think she's one of the few that we've all haven't heard from yet, really, as far as the scene. And I think everyone was like dying to hear something from her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She really is the only other like mentor that we have the most interaction with, like story-wise.
Which somebody said that she seems kind of mean, or like a little bit more mean with that dialogue they gave her in the TikTok. Like you'd almost think they were like Capital, almost. Yeah. And then somebody else commented on one of our shorts on YouTube that they think they might be combining a little bit the characters of Livia and Clemencia. Like, oh, that makes like a lot of sense.
Wait, I mean, there's no Livia in the movie?
No, there is Olivia, but like maybe they're making her character smaller just so like the audience, it's a short, condensed version, a movie. So maybe they're going to give her more lines, like give her some of more like Livia's personality or dialogue, which I think could be a possibility.
So we could maybe see Snow and Clemencia join. I'll just say that. I don't really know
I'll take it. I ship them so hard.
I mean, because honestly, when I read her in the book, I low-key did like imagine her to be that almost snobby. I don't know. She just registers in my mind as like all the Asian girls I went to school with. They were so hyper fixated on grades. When are we getting the test grades out? I was like, oh my god, get me out of here. Good. Get the fuck out of there.
I feel like she reads somewhere between like Lysistrata and Livia, like somewhere in the middle, but maybe they're gonna, I don't know, skew her more towards
it's a really interesting thought, and one that I would actually be really like a change I would be happy to see, kind of like how they changed Effie's character, and made her more likable, I feel like, in the films than in the books.
Oh yeah.
Like just gave her more to do. Made her more of an important character than she was.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that done for Clemencia too, because
yeah. I'm just thinking maybe they can't include all of Clemencia's dialogue, but they also want to include some of like Livia's dialogue, but want to, have the audience have more time with one character. I don't know. Maybe.
That could be cool.
I was looking at the footage, and I think I found Marcus.
Oh.
Marcus, you say?
It's
I
the
don't
shot.
know.
It's the shot when the games start, and they're all running towards the makeshift cornucopia. If you look where to the right side of the screen, where he should be, it doesn't really look like anything, but if you slow it down, it looks like someone is hanging there.
Oh, Leslie sent me the image from Twitter. That's definitely Marcus.
Oh, good.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
not good, but
Wait,
good.
Emily, send it in
Hold on, I'm sending it.
the TT chat.
Let's see. I'll send it to Emily on Instagram.
This one's pretty clear.
Oh,
Oh,
preview.
I'll
wow.
send it to you too, Brian.
I have a video. Yeah, I slowed it down and zoomed in.
That's
Oh, that
definitely
looks crazy.
Oh my
That's
god.
Yep, I would say that's Marcus.
Mhm.
Okay, Marcus is not
Oh,
going to be the new
Marcus.
match.
Yes.
I apologize.
Not that I want to watch this happen, but you know what I mean.
It's
Yeah.
necessary.
I sent the
For
link
the
in the
story.
chat too. That's wild.
That's crazy.
That's so
Wow.
sad.
That's crazy.
Oh, that one's
I would yell like Sejanus too.
Yeah.
I get it.
Are we all just hanging out at this point? Why is it so quiet?
Sorry.
I'm like,
it's like
I'm like
dissociating.
staring at the image.
we just don't end the live. We just all go to Instagram and just like do our daily shit. Just quiet for the next hour.
I can't even like process that.
That's crazy because yeah, like so I've been meaning to comb through this clip, like put it, on pause and like just kind of slowly scroll through it on the camera roll, and I just haven't had time for it today just because I've been swamped with work.
Oh, Jerry.
Because I specifically want to like dig through it and see what else I can find in it, and that's just blowing my mind a little bit right now.
Oh, we also got an image of Snow and Lucy Gray at the zoo, where he's like putting the flower in her hair and they like grab hands, which I feel like is a moment that Holly and I just talked about in our part 1 book recap, like how they kind of just like team up in that moment. So I really liked that shot. I think that's really cool. And they just decide like, okay, this is the show, like let's go.
Was
I
it
thought it
Own
was
It?
cool to watch. Sorry, what'd you say?
I was just saying the quote. Own
Oh.
It. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. I thought it was cool to see the Hunger Games right after that, and then like Katniss, like Snow putting Katniss's crown on her head, and then like thinking of him putting the rose in Lucy Gray's like hair. That was cool.
Oh, that's a cool parallel.
The parallels were cool.
I can't wait for all the parallel edits post movie.
But also like, yeah, seeing that Ballad trailer and then content and then going straight into Hunger Games, as much as that was crazy and almost a little bit cruel, it was cool because I feel like, of course, we're there to just experience the Hunger Games as on its own in theaters, but also within the context of like Ballad promotion, I feel like it kind of reframes the story a little bit differently than it has for other times. And then because the movie ends literally on a shot, and that like leads into everything. It's just so
yeah, definitely the Snow scenes hit different watching it in theaters and right
the
after.
Yeah,
snow
it really.
aesthetic scenes, like it's just
It really
it's so
got me
good, and
thinking.
I'm willing to take my time through this entire Ballad film cycle, but I am also excited and eager to do movie marathons where I want to do one where I start from the Hunger Games and I watch Ballad last, but then I also want to do marathons where I watch Ballad first, like chronologically, and just see how that feels.
Yeah.
Just watch it
Oh, that'll be
between
so
every
crazy.
movie.
Imagine
Yeah.
just watching Ballad and then the first movie after. That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
what I'm gonna
gosh.
be doing for like the next 3 years.
Yeah, just getting to those snow scenes where he's like, especially that part, he's like, have you been out there? 10, 11,
Yeah.
12. I have.
Yeah.
And people like gasped a little bit
Yeah.
in the theater.
Like,
Yeah.
ooh. Yeah, that's makes you think. Makes you think. Because like I remember
also,
when
no, I was gonna move on. So yeah.
Oh, just last thing. When the first movie came out and Gary Ross and the crew was talking about like adding in those Snow and Seneca scenes to add a little bit more context to both of those characters because we don't see that in the books and whatever. And I always wondered like how did they come up with the content that they discuss? And I always just assumed that like, oh well, Suzanne was an executive producer, so maybe she gave some inclination of what she wanted those two characters to be talking about. And then Ballad comes out, and then I'm like, is that what happened? Like, did she tell them like stuff that like is it's like in her lore mentally, and just stopped away, and then Ballad was the opportunity to really like dissect all of that. I don't know.
But
Points
all
to
of
ponder.
that came from Donald Sutherland, right? Those scenes, like when he
Yeah, that's what I
saw the part and read the script, he really fell in love with the character of Snow, and then wrote a letter to Gary Ross and wrote a lot of that like dialogue, I guess, that's in that scene, but in like letter form, like talking about the character of President Snow and how he saw him. So honestly, I feel like Suzanne was really inspired by the first movie and like what Donald kind of brought to the character. And then was like, yeah, like I agree with that. Like I see something there. Like let me expand upon that.
So what you're saying is Gary laid the foundation for Ballad.
No, Donald Sutherland laid the
Snow
foundation.
himself.
Tina's nodding, very accomplished.
Donald inspired
that was my theory. Like the second the book was announced, and it was about the second we found out it was about Snow. Like I'm automatically in my head was like she got it from Donald's performance, but not only his performance but also his interviews, because he actually says over and over in the interviews how Snow is actually really inspired by Katniss, and so I know the gears were turning in Suzanne's head. So like this is not news to me. I'm sorry. This is
wow.
Yeah, I feel like he put a lot of that like obsession of Katniss in there. Like there's some of that in the books, but I think he really expanded upon that, and it maybe
didn't at one point he
something.
say if Katniss was his granddaughter, she would be running the country or something. Like I feel like I've heard him say that before. It's like,
that sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're right.
Like he really fell into that. Like he loves her. Yeah, which is cool.
Wow.
I like that take on it.
Well, he says in one of the interviews he wanted Katniss to become the protege. He actually wanted her to replace Seneca and then persuade her to join his side, but she doesn't.
That's almost like a Dr. Gall Snow relationship. Like maybe he, was looking for someone or ended up being inspired by someone in the same kind of twisted way, but she ended up being like different. She chooses a much different path than him. That's so interesting.
Feel different.
Any other moments from the millions of like ads that I feel like a lot of stuff has just been thrown at us the last couple
of
days?
Of snakes have been thrown at us.
Yo, people with snake phobias, like, they are not gonna see this in theaters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
my boss said that her husband, they went to the movies over the weekend and they saw the first trailer played before one of the movies they saw. And she said, yeah, I'm definitely going to go watch it, but my husband is actually afraid of snakes. So he has already said that he will not be seeing it because of the snakes. So it's kind of funny.
It's like there's CGI. I don't know.
Too bad they
It's
couldn't be
tough.
real.
It's tough though. Like I keep thinking like, because a phobia is by definition irrational. So I try to, be mindful of that. Like if it was roaches, for example, I would have a really hard time.
Oh, the Ballad of Roaches. Oh God, get me out.
I think I'd be skipping out. I wouldn't watch a
really
roach
hard time
movie.
too.
So I get it.
Gray skirt made of roaches. See that shit grown?
Ew.
You see everyone start getting up and walking out.
It's
I
like
don't
really
think I could
funny
do
when
it.
you say it, but then if I had to like sit through a 3-hour long movie
I
where
would
at any
throw
point
up.
I'm scared with like a drone dropping a enormous amount of roaches onto a poor girl,
Ugh.
I'm leaving. Like I'm
Yeah.
passing out. I'm leaving the
Retching.
theater in a stretcher. Like that's what's
Not
happening.
happening.
So
yo,
We
did
can
you-
watch
that
people
person
being
just pass
hanged.
out
We
back
can
there?
watch Marcus. We can watch Rue's death. But we draw the line at roaches.
Roaches.
Wait,
it's
wait, wait.
irrational. I know this. I'm very aware.
Disgusting.
Every time I'm
When
faced
this-
with a roach and I go into a panic and I hyperventilate and I dry heave for an hour, I know it's irrational, but I can't help it. It's like this instinctual thing.
It's rational. No, they're they get to like they're giant. It's disgusting. No.
All right, we can move on.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, shut the fuck
She
up.
was
Hold
just
it right
rubbing
there.
Back to Ballad.
No,
it's
guys,
all good.
wait. When the snakes drop, are they dropping onto her?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh,
no,
okay.
we've seen that. Like it
Okay.
drops onto the
Oh, God.
rubble.
I was like, that looks like a lot of force. Like, how would she live? Oh.
She's suffocating.
I think she's pretty close, though. I think she's like right there because when she like looks up, I think she's looking at the snakes being dropped.
Can you imagine they drop it, dude? That'd be terrible.
Which is
I know, right?
Oh my
right,
God.
right. Oh my God! Somebody help her!
Oh my God.
Oh man.
I feel like another clip that I liked was seeing Lucky at the zoo. There's like a moment where he says, "We're live."
We're live.
Yes.
I hate that quote though. Oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing that.
We're live.
What?
We're
They
live.
2 words. How do
Yes,
you hate
it's
that
so
quote?
annoying.
Ugh.
He
Well,
seems
I
a little bit like not
we're-
as practiced, like not as I don't know, into it, as not as comfortable as he is later when he like says that in like the red jacket. So I
Which
liked
did make
that.
sense because he's the first ever host. So like he's figuring it out along the way just as much as all the other mentors are, as well as just everybody else. And then you have someone like Caesar who's like so comfortable in his position. But that had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Imagine your local news reporter screaming out, "We're live."
I mean,
Ew.
honestly, like the fact that it feels kind of like janky a little bit. It's like, not that this is the same thing at all, but
That's
like
what-
when on stage, Abby, what's happening?
That's exactly the word to describe him.
What, janky?
Yeah, he's so bad. I can't stand this man.
But I feel like behind the scenes, someone has been like, this has to go well. Like you have to
Oh yeah.
get the
He has
audience
pressure
like
on him.
entertained, like interested in this. So I feel like you can sense that anxiety a little bit just in that little clip and the difference.
This is not like the same thing at all, but it's like when I had to go on stage to introduce Coldplay a couple weeks ago, and I had to get on stage in front of 35,000 people and convince them that they were about to have the best night of their lives. I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And it very much felt like we're live, like let's go. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're here, So I don't know. I am on Chase's side on the Lucky issue. I love him.
Wow. That's why we have teeth.
Yo, catch me and Abby just cracking up in the back. Like every time we see him.
We just
It's like a
The
dead,
pink
quiet,
sound.
serious moment, and you just hear.
The montage of him saying first ever host of the Hunger Games, and then they enjoy the show starting is like my favorite part of the first trailer. I think it's great. It gives you everything you need right there in about 5 seconds. Lucky, the arena, and enjoy the show.
I think I'm starting to like Lucky more than Caesar.
I mean, final verdict
Ryan!
will have to come later.
Ryan, Abby's
Oh my
like
god.
disgusted. Abby's like disgusted. Oh my god.
This is Abby's roach.
Yes. Give me a break. I need to breathe.
I
My
mean, for
boss
me,
thought that was Stanley
kinda-
Tucci.
We love Caesar. Come on now. Come on now.
No, I want to hear Brian's explanation though.
well, I was just saying that for me, Caesar was kind of cringy, but not like super cringy. I see it and I understand why he is the way he is, but then I just think it's a little too much. And I think Lucky's version, even it's meant to not be as extreme, and I think it's just right. Plus, we get to see, a journey with him because, like how we noticed, his hair is different at the zoo. He's not as flashy yet, and so I'm more excited to see that transition from him having, that gray normal suit, and then you start seeing velvet and shiny parts of his costume, and his hair changes, his mustache changes, he puts on makeup. And so for me so far, that's just because of that, I'm starting to like him more.
Yeah, I think we're
like
going to
his
get to know him as
costume.
a character more. So I like
Yeah, but
that.
I was reading the book, and Lucky's not even at the zoo. He doesn't get introduced until a lot later because what's his name? Lepidus? Is that
Lepidus.
so I think they're just merging those characters and giving everything to Lucky.
Yeah.
Rip Lepidus.
R.I.P.
It does make you wonder, like, if Suzanne, I mean, she obviously knows how to write scripts or at least help. Like, why even add that character in, knowing that something like that would probably get condensed into Lucky? Like, I wonder what the purpose was, or if it was just like an afterthought of like, oh, they may not use him, or I don't even know if she thinks like that, like in the moment about what the movie would look like. But like, I don't know, as an author, I would just think that she'd be like, yeah, let's just condense this to one reporter. But
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get Satyria Cluck either.
or Sickle. She
Yeah.
yelled at everybody, but
I think
Like
those
so-
might be condensed into Gall and Highbottom. Because I've been reading it every now and then, and I'm like, there are a lot of characters. I don't know how they're all gonna fit in one movie.
But honestly,
Yeah.
I don't think that Suzanne expected there to be a movie. She probably just
Really?
I think she would just write it just to write the book. I mean, of
Yeah.
course there might be a movie, but like I don't think she wrote it just like pick characters just because there might be a movie or anything.
I mean, I would like Chase is saying, like to hear Suzanne's thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, about a lot of things because she doesn't talk about anything. But why there was that extra character for kind of no reason. But I mean, I guess there are multiple news people, multiple reporters.
I wish
it
we
makes
got,
sense
like,
for the teachers. No, go ahead, Abby.
sorry. I wish we got, like, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you might have seen the interview with J.K. Rowling. I'm not gonna talk about her, but and Daniel Radcliffe, where they're like interviewing, like he's like interviewing her or something. I can't remember, but it was like a one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish we could have like Tom and Suzanne. That would be so cool.
That would be
I would just love anything like Suzanne talking.
I would levitate.
Yeah,
That would be
obviously
so cool.
anything with Suzanne would be awesome.
They could just fill the jury box with the cast and then have Suzanne at the judge's seat and they just go back and forth for like 3 hours. That would be perfect.
So awesome.
I
Just
would
put-
love to hear her do like a round table with other fans. Like I would like to see her talk to other fans. So I think that
Yeah.
would be cool.
That's it.
like us.
Suzanne, if you're listening, we're summoning you.
Yeah, reach out, please.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be me. Honestly, I wouldn't be good at that. I'd be too nervous. So somebody else. But I would love to hear.
You got your
talk to
photo with
fans.
her, so definitely you, Em.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tell
You
me
guys
if
are
Prim and Peter
besties.
are siblings, please. Just want to know.
I
That would be my
think about
question if I
that.
could ask her one.
Or sweet.
I think about
People
that
are-
one video that she did, like in the living room with like a couple of fans.
Oh my
When
gosh.
Mockingjay, like right before Mockingjay came out. I think about that video all the time. I'm like,
They were like, do you
not
consider
again,
District 3 a
please.
career district? Like,
Well,
did you read
okay,
the book?
but you have to remember, like the book had been out for like 2 years. I mean, the third book hadn't even released. I don't know. I feel like there hasn't been like all
I
this
feel like I
time
knew
to
that
like.
by 12. By age 12, I knew. Like, okay, that's not a career district.
Okay, well, Chase is going to be in the room to talk to Suzanne, and we will judge his questions.
Please.
You
I'm gonna
just
be like,
asked
never
about
mind.
Gary Ross. How'd you find Gary Ross?
So, why do you think that the Hunger Games first film is the best adaptation of the series?
And I would also like to know what her thought process, what kind of issues she was going through to help write that first draft. Didn't she help write the first draft with Billy Ray? Or did
I
she
think
just
so,
say
with
it?
Gary Ross? Yeah, I think Billy Ray wrote the first draft, and then she and Gary Ross like reworked it.
Golly, that thing was like, what were your thoughts when that showed up on your desk? That's what I want
I
to
think
know.
I think Suzanne was okay with it though, and Nina was the one who
That's-
had to be like, "Are you sure you want to?"
That's the problem. I don't
change too much?
understand.
Thank you,
Please
Nina.
explain. Yeah, thank you, Nina. I love you,
I
Nina.
actually wonder which movie is her favorite. That'd be a cool thing to know.
Yeah.
I think part
Ballad.
2 would be.
I bet it's Ballad.
Okay, not including Ballad.
Not including Ballad. Why?
No,
Why
I
can't we
want to know
include
the
Ballad?
original. We can know both, but like, I want to know the original.
I think it's
It's
part
got to be
2.
Hunger Games or Catching Fire.
She's all about the
She's like,
war, though.
part 1.
Yeah, I guess like her favorite book to write was probably Mockingjay. So I don't know. Good question to ask her when we do that fan discussion.
Please.
Leslie said we didn't talk about the guns being dumped into the lake. I feel like we did talk about that a little bit, but I just in the book he like throw it into the lake.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in the
he, like,
movie he's
swims
like
it
gonna
down,
row
doesn't
out
he?
to the middle, dump
I
it
thought he
down.
actually went into the water.
Oh, does he swim out?
Yeah, I think he either swims out or in like the boat, like in the little clip, but I think he does wrap it around so it sinks to the bottom.
Mhm.
Maybe he mentions that before. I know he mentions like what to do with him before he actually does it, but I don't remember.
I don't know if I'm remembering correctly, but he should have been bitten, right? So shouldn't he have a little more urgency doing that?
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I saw
Am I-
in the last clip, or one of the last clips, he has some sort of like, I don't
On
know if
his
it's
neck.
dirt, but it looks like a a vampire bite mark, honestly. I'm like, what is this?
Oh yeah.
I'm so confused. Maybe it's just like a weird
Maybe it's a scar
of
from the
dirt
arena.
or something. Or yeah, a scar. That would make sense. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, the last clip before the title screen.
It's a Twilight crossover.
Maybe that's when he's bit by the snake that Lucy has set up for him. No.
It looks pretty big though.
It's like
It's
a
just
crescent
dirt.
shape. So
What
a snake bite would be different, right?
Rachel bit him. That would be kind of interesting.
Maybe.
That's part of the end scene.
What?
She had
They just,
rabies
like,
and
They
just bit.
fight. They have like the Clove Katniss fight where they just like roll around.
Oh my gosh.
Shaky cam. Bring the shaky cam out for that. I thought it was just dirt, but I did notice it because I was like, whoa, his neck is dirty.
yeah, I don't know. It's just like in a weird shape, and it's like a dark crescent line. I don't know. Maybe it is just dirt, but it just kind of stood out to me. It's weird. Yeah, I assumed it was part of the scars, but I don't think it's in any of the other shots. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's dirt. Maybe it's something else. I don't know.
Maybe it could
Weird.
be. Kidding.
The real mystery of the movie.
I can't wait to
That's
find out
actually
what
what
that
this
is.
movie is about.
Any other scenes anybody wants to bring up? Hanging tree in like 20 minutes.
You.
Everybody go listen. We need it to like chart or whatever music does.
We got to get platinum again.
Yes.
Stream it on a loop. Just turn it on when you
Buy
go to sleep.
I need it to make to the top of my Spotify Wrapped for the year, but I've been listening to a lot of the Barbie soundtrack, so I've got to listen to the Hanging Tree even more. Or
I
any of
heard
the songs.
Spotify Rap comes out in like 6 weeks.
What?
So you
I
better
think it
hurry.
ends like the data ends like on the 31st
Of
So you have time.
October?
Yeah.
What? It
Yeah,
ends
like
that early?
Yeah, they stopped collecting data for it on the last day of October.
Wow.
So I won't be able
So
to get
fake.
the score in there.
No.
So
Huh.
fake.
This
Sorry.
is breaking
Next
my heart.
year,
This is devastating
2024
news.
is going to be out of this
Oh
world.
my
for you.
gosh.
I'm devastated. I don't even have Spotify.
Well, yeah, I just want to see it like at the top of people's like lists. Oh, that's a bummer.
Remember last year when they did like a personality Spotify Wrapped? Like you saw it. Sorry, that was random, but I thought that was the weirdest meme to go with. It was like you're an introverted listener. It was like, what does that even mean? Anyways, I'm sorry.
I just need to know, did James Newton Howard do the accompaniment for this one? Because
Oh,
I
for
don't
the
know.
Hanging Tree?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Dave Cobb and James Newton Howard, or just James Cobb, or just James Newton Howard.
I mean, in the video that played before the movie, it was James Newton Howard talking about the Hanging Tree being back and talking about it. So I would think that he probably did it.
Yeah.
It's back.
But yeah.
Because I plan on making a post about it. And I'm just trying to figure out like who do I credit, because you have to credit Suzanne for the lyrics, and then for the melody, you've got to credit the Lumineers, and then the accompaniment James Newton Howard. So I'm very finicky about making sure I credit the right people.
Well, when the song releases, well, it should probably say everyone who is associated with it.
Well, usually right now it's just saying like Rachel Zegler, even though she didn't write it. She's more of just being featured.
But on Apple Music, one of the most recent updates when iPhone's updated to iOS 7 is you can see the actual song credits now.
Mm-hmm.
So once it's out.
I guess I got to update my phone. I haven't updated it in a while.
Yeah, like I'm pulling up right now from a random song I was already playing, and it specifies like performing artist, production and engineering, and then the available audio quality. But I also just picked the most obscure song. Let me just try a Chris Stapleton song really quick. Oh, ironically, Dave Cobb on the acoustic guitar. That's crazy. Yeah, it has like when you hit the like 3 little dots on a song, then you get this page that has like all this information on who has a credit on it.
Wow. Dang.
Like mastering engineer, studio personnel, producer, mixing engineer, recording engineer. Like there's all these people on here. So I'm sure once the song releases, I will definitely be looking into that. And yeah, Well, Dave Cobb played acoustic guitar on this Chris Stapleton song, so that's cool.
So funny.
Now I'm checking the entire album. Like, wait, did he play on this whole album? Oh my god, he did.
Well, nobody has anything else. Other scenes, anything you
We
wanna talk
need a
about?
bullshit for the next 15 minutes because we're gonna watch. It's another 15 minutes till the thing comes out.
Oh, true. We could just hang out here and then live react.
We just straight up hang out at
I
this
mean,
point.
we've already heard the song.
Oh, who hasn't? Who here hasn't?
I haven't.
I haven't.
I don't have Twitter.
I just actively avoided it, and I was so busy with work that I was like, plus I wanted to, the first time that I hear it, be like with all of my lights off, with my AirPods Pro, like, and just dissociate into the
Yeah.
I haven't either.
So I'm
Just
saving
what-
it for
Feels
like a
illegal.
treat.
I wanted to listen to it like when it actually comes out.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
feel
I can
like
see
this one is a little less exciting to me because it's not new music. Like, I mean, it's just like a cover of a song that we already know, which I mean, I am going to listen to it and I'm going to love it, but I'm just going to be, 10 times more excited to hear a song that
Yeah.
we have not heard at all and hear Rachel sing something new. But I mean, I'm super excited about this one, but I also don't really want to hear all the other songs before seeing the movie.
Yeah.
So
You're
if those
saying
release,
it's-
I might not listen to them.
You're saying it's no different than like if I released it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, kinda. Except
2-speed.
Rachel is a great singer. Although, you're not bad, Chase.
Hey, I did pretty well. last
Yeah,
night, though.
justice for Chase.
We're gonna need
Justice for Chase's voice. Do you think they'll release any songs before the movie
I
comes
think
out?
they will. I don't think they'll release all of them. At least I hope they won't. But I don't think that The Hanging Tree is going to be the last song that we get before the film comes out. Just my opinion, but
It's gonna be weird for me, like unhearing Maya Win.
I know.
like,
I
trying
my
to
guess is that they cut Sell You for a Song. I don't think that's going to be in the movie, but that's okay because that's my favorite Maya Win song.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can have that replaced.
It'd be cool if they released like one of the songs in the morning or like Thursday at midnight or something, like right before the movie comes out, kind of thing. Because new music usually drops on Fridays, so there's like movies, so it would be cool to have like a little double whammy there.
I'm learning so much about music. Like music drops on Fridays, it drops like at
Yeah.
midnight. Like I have
New
no
Chris
idea.
Stapleton album comes out on
That's
November
crazy.
10th. I'm gonna take a second to plug that since it's related, since Dave Cobb played the acoustic guitar on this album. New Chris Stapleton album out Friday, November 10th.
I was
So-
talking to my sisters about music, like just regular your guys' music, not scores. Because they were talking about like Taylor Swift or something. They're like, it comes out this day or something. And I just went on a tangent. We were driving together and I just said, I don't understand your guys' music. Like they're just talking about random stuff with music and you guys like it. There's no purpose to it. Like it's not with a movie, it's not for something emotional with the scene. I don't know. That's just my take. And then my sister
Like-
just looked at me like I was psychotic.
I guess it depends on the artist, of course, but like since I just mentioned Chris Stapleton, like I think his lyrics are like he's a storyteller and it's just set to music, because he's telling stories from his life. Like he has a song called Maggie's Song that's about his dog that passed away, which he played live, and then everybody in the audience was crying. I don't know why he did that. Rude, but really good song. And yeah, I think a lot of it is just artists sharing from their personal life experiences. Again, not speaking for every artist, but I don't know, that's the appeal for me. Also just like you're moving through life, stuff happens, and then you find a song that somehow describes exactly how you felt, but you've never been able to put it into words before. And then it's this really cool moment where you're like, wow, somebody else out there has experienced this also, you know, and that's how I got into heavy metal music. I had a lot of rage. And I was really relieved to find that there's a whole genre of people who feel the same way.
I understand what you're saying on that, Brian, because I'm definitely a movie person. I'm not really a music person. And a lot of the music that I listen to, it's either going to be a score or it's going to be something that plays like in a scene in a movie or something like that. So
Yeah, if
definitely
I listen-
resonates with me a lot more if it's from like a scene or like just a movie or a show that I really like.
Yeah, if I listen to a song with words, it's either from a trailer or the movie itself. But also, I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but I can't hear words when they're sung. It's just noise to me.
Interesting.
Wow, I've never heard that before.
There's one. The song You Don't Own Me. For the longest time until it became popular again with like Suicide Squad, I did not know the words were "You Don't Own Me." I always sang it as if I hummed it or something from my little kid. I thought it was "Home, Wyoming." I didn't know it was "You Don't Own Me."
That's the best.
Wyoming.
Well, it's like you know, people often joke around about Empire State of Mind, that like Jay-Z and Alicia Keys song, where people like mishear the lyrics, or like Concrete Jungle, Wet Dream Tomato, and I'm like, that's not all right. It's not
Oh God.
Concrete Jungle, where dreams are made of, is what the lyrics are.
Yeah, I can hear words, so maybe that's why you don't find a point to it.
I love lyrics so much. And I have a ton of respect for anyone who can just write lyrics. I don't know. It's crazy. That to me is
there are a lot of songs where it's more just like a feeling for me. It doesn't even have to be words that I relate to.
Yeah.
I like a lot of classic rock from the 70s, and you know, some of the words, it's like I don't even care what they're saying. It just sounds good to me, or I just vibe with it.
I definitely feel like there's like different kinds of music. There's music that I consider like junk food music, which isn't necessarily that it's like bad or something, but like, you know, it's like when you want a bag of chips, you're like, I don't care that it's not good for me or that it's not like inspirational, but it's just like fun and it's what I want right now, right? And then you have music that will make you sob. The Scientist by Coldplay, for example, the world's saddest song ever written on the planet. And then there's, you know, all sorts of stuff in between. And I feel like, I don't know, for me, music is such an emotional outlet. I struggle with identifying my emotions, which is called alexithymia. So like if you ask me in a moment, like, hey, how are you feeling? I don't know until like 3 to 5 business days later. And by then I feel differently. But music is always like, I don't know how I feel, but I feel like this song. And then going to a concert of like when you're one of my favorite artists feels just like you're there in person. I don't know. I'm also like a synesthete, so like music isn't a whole other sensory experience for me in that regard. But like, yeah, you just go to a concert, you're there with the artist. It's like an emotional release, and not always just like sad or anger. It could just be happy, you know. I mean, for me, Imagine Dragons concerts, for example, are just like sheer euphoria. And it's almost like I'm high or something. It's just so much fun. Or going to a metal show and going in a mosh pit and getting punched in the face, but it's for fun, so it's awesome. I don't know. You get it or you don't. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I feel like the Lucy Gray songs are going to be like a wide range of, I don't know, different kinds of songs, like really like Exciting at the Hub, and then like Pure as the Driven Snow, or like the Arena song. I can't wait to experience them in the film, really, but then to just listen to them.
It's insane to have this like before time where we have no concept of what they sound like at all.
Right.
So weird to think about.
We will never go back once we've heard them.
Well, if that's it, I
In
think
8
we're gonna
minutes.
wrap it up. Yeah, 8 minutes until we can stream the hanging tree. So I guess we will be talking about that next week and whatever else we're bombarded with news-wise in the next week. Probably more ads and more scenes and
I hope not.
or district TikToks. I don't know.
I want the district TikToks. That's definitely the number one on my priority list right now. I don't think we need any like new ads. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah,
already
I
have
guess you're right. They probably put all the ads out and those are gonna like run for a certain amount of time. Like maybe we'll get new ones eventually, but it seems like they just put them all up and like now they're gonna run. I haven't seen any of them. Like I haven't actually gotten
I
any of
haven't
the
either.
ads. I'm like, I am definitely the target audience for this.
I know.
Where are my
Yeah.
ads?
I
get
know.
them all the time.
I'm like,
Do?
Yeah, for real. Like I probably get one a day at least.
oh
for the
my
past
god,
week or
I
so.
haven't seen any.
that doesn't.
Well, when
it-
you're a top
Man,
fan,
they didn't
know
tell
the
you
content.
that you didn't need convincing anymore.
That's crazy. I'm like, I literally have like a Hunger Games account. I'm always like searching stuff, like in our phones, listening to damn near everything we say. And even
Hunger Games.
sometimes
I
I
like,
don't
how
say
many
things
times a
out loud.
day?
Yeah, and sometimes like I'll think about something like, oh yeah, I need to make an appointment at the dentist or something, but I don't even say it out loud to anybody. And the next thing I know, I get like ads for like dental offices, and I'm like, how did you know? Like, it's just crazy. And I, run a Hunger Games account and all this stuff, and not one Hunger Games ad. What is happening?
Yeah.
I've gotten a few
Is it
in my
only?
stories. Like when I'm going through stories on Instagram, one pops up.
Oh, okay. So they're
I'm-
not just on TikTok.
Yeah, well, I'm not on TikTok that often. I usually get them all on Instagram, and sometimes every now and then I see one on Facebook.
Wow. I can't
I
believe I
didn't know
haven't
that
seen
not everybody was getting them because I had one that was like really cool and unique, and it was like kind of the setup of the big screens all over in the academy, and it had different clips that I had never seen. And I took a screenshot, and now I wish I could show it, but I deleted the screenshot because I just figured everyone had seen it.
Oh,
Sorry.
No,
Oh.
that one's on my Instagram story. I posted that one because it was only like 5 seconds or something.
Is that the
Okay,
one with like
then-
all the different screens?
Yeah,
Like
it says-
the TV. Yeah, okay. I think that's somebody's posted that somewhere.
okay, good. Because then I just deleted it like a couple minutes ago.
Could you imagine Chase was the only one that saw it?
I had like the exclusive.
Just for you.
It would have been
Just
fun.
a
if,
lucky
like,
clip.
it would have been fun if like how when we were teasing the trailer, the first one, how they gave us like one GIF each and we all had to post and then everyone like went running. It would have been kind of fun if we all had been sent like our own ad, because it feels like there's that many, to be honest. And
Yeah,
then
there's a lot.
just
Ooh,
Post-
what if they like sent us for like one of the whatever the next song they want to release? What if they sent us like 2 or 3 seconds of the song and we have to
You have to piece it
post-
together.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
they said you better work.
Gotta like reference the book to see like where the lines are, what the lines are. That'd be chaos. Playing nice said hoping they keep the spoken word versions from Audible. La la la. La la la.
I mean, you can always have those, the audiobooks are going to stay
They'll
the same.
always be there.
They're always exactly. They'll always be there for you to come home to after a long day. Gem of Panem.
Okay, 4 minutes. I guess we'll talk about the hanging tree next week. Whatever else comes up, stream the hanging tree.
Like your life
And-
depends on it.
Yes, we need it to chart.
Quite simply, we needed to chart.
Yeah, and we will be back here next week. Have a good night, everybody.